Ravens fan, you won't believe what a former NFL MVP said about Lamar Jackson. While many try to downplay Lamar's impact on the game, one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time has come forward to defend our number 8. What he said could completely change how you see Lamar's game and the pressure he's been facing. Is he right? And what could this mean for the future of the Ravens? Stay with me until the end, because you'll understand the significance of this defense and how it could motivate Lamar to silence his critics for good. Go Ravens! Cam Newton, former NFL MVP and one of the sport's biggest names, got straight to the point. Lamar Jackson is the best dual-threat quarterback the game has ever seen. On his 4th and 1 podcast, Newton praised Lamar without holding back, highlighting how he combines skill and creativity to make plays that leave everyone in. He said Lamar is unique, and his ability to win games with both his arm and legs puts him on a level no one in history has reached. According to Newton, that's a rare talent and not something to be criticized. In addition to his praise, Newton took the opportunity to defend Lamar against critics who always seem to have something to say. He questioned why so many insist on pointing fingers, telling Lamar how he should play when he's clearly successful. For Newton, what matters is the result on the field, victories. And Lamar, leading the Ravens, has delivered exactly that. Newton urged Lamar to completely ignore the negative voices and keep being who he is, because it's that authenticity that makes him special. Having someone like Cam Newton, who has been at the top of the NFL, recognizing Lamar's greatness is significant. But at the same time, it brings up the discussions about the criticisms Lamar faces. Interestingly, even Lamar's mother, Felicia Jones, has given her candid opinion about his playing style, showing that even those closest to him don't hold back in pointing out what they think could be improved. Did you know that even Lamar Jackson's mother has something to say about how he plays? Felicia Jones, known for always supporting her son, didn't hold back after the 24-19 loss to the Eagles. According to her, Lamar could have run more on some plays. She even gave him a scolding, saying he passed up several opportunities to advance with his legs instead of waiting too long for the receiver's routes. Not every mom analyzes the game like this, but Felicia has always been by Lamar's side from the very beginning of his career. Lamar, in turn, responded that he was focused on giving his receivers time to get into position, showing his growth as a passer. It's this balance between running and passing that defines his unique style of play. However, it's interesting how even those so close to him recognize that his instinct to run remains a vital part of his impact on the game. This mother-son moment emphasizes how Lamar is surrounded by people who demand the best from him, both on and off the field. This kind of pressure, whether from his mom or critics, just proves how exceptional Lamar is as a player, able to carry the expectations of everyone. But while some still question whether he should run more or less, the statistics show he's delivering incredible numbers on offense, both with his arm and his legs, further solidifying the greatness of his season. Lamar Jackson has been leaving everyone speechless this season. He's already thrown for 3,290 yards, a number that shows his ability to command the passing game with precision. In addition, he's thrown for 29 touchdowns and only 3 interceptions, proving he's in complete control of the game. These numbers reflect a maturity as a passer that few thought would be reached so early. And the most impressive part is that this is just part of the show he's putting on the field. But Lamar hasn't abandoned his roots as an explosive runner. Even with more focus on the passing game, he's accumulated 678 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns, a feat that many quarterbacks can only dream of. The balance between his ground and aerial game has been the key to his dominance. And this has only been possible thanks to Todd Monken's offensive system, which has allowed Lamar to explore his full potential. It's like watching a player who masters all aspects of the game. Even with all this, the criticism continues to surface, especially when it comes to playoff performance. Some still insist Lamar can't deliver in crucial games, and this has become a weight he carries throughout the season. However, these same criticisms also serve as motivation. Every precise pass and every decisive run is a response to those who doubt his talent. Now, the next challenge is to prove that this evolution extends beyond the regular season, starting with preparation to face the playoffs and silence the critics once and for all. Well, we're past the halfway point of the video, but before we continue, I noticed you haven't liked this video yet. It's really important for YouTube to keep recommending my content to you, so I'll keep bringing more for you. So go ahead and leave a like. It's free, right? Thanks. Let's keep going. Cam Newton, former NFL MVP and one of the most dynamic quarterbacks to ever play the game, has been one of Lamar Jackson's biggest defenders. On his podcast, Newton didn't hold back his praise for his friend and former colleague, highlighting how unique Lamar is in the way he plays football. To him, Lamar is simply the greatest dual-threat quarterback to ever play this game, a statement that carries even more weight coming from someone who was considered one of the best in history in a similar role. Newton also made it clear that Lamar's ability to do things on the field that no one else can do makes him a rare talent, not a flaw, as some critics insist. To Newton, Lamar doesn't need to prove anything more. He's already one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, and it's unfair to question his style of play just because it's different. However, the pressure on Lamar doesn't lessen with the support of figures like the fact that Newton makes these statements only shows how much Lamar still has to fight against the biases that exist in the league. The real question, though, will be how Lamar uses these words of encouragement to motivate himself even more, and whether this will be the fuel he needs for an even more impressive performance in the coming weeks. Despite his incredible stats, Lamar Jackson still faces constant criticism, especially about his playing style. Many say he's abandoning what makes him so special, his ability to make spectacular runs and use his legs to wear down defenses. The fact that he's focusing more on passing instead of running is generating a debate about what he should really prioritize. For critics, Lamar's ability to run like a running back should be his main focus, because it's that skill that makes him incomparable. However, this criticism ignores the fact that Lamar is evolving into a complete quarterback, no longer just a player who relies on it. By improving his passing game, he's becoming harder to defend, as teams can't just focus on stopping him from running the ball. His 3,290 yards and 29 touchdowns speak against the narrative that he's neglecting what made him famous. In fact, Lamar is learning to use his strengths even more intelligently, which directly reflects in the team's overall performance. Nonetheless, the pressure on Lamar is clear. The media doesn't miss an opportunity to point out what he should or shouldn't. Now, the big challenge is to prove once again that he can be successful while maintaining the balance between running and passing, and that this new style of play is, in fact, an evolution, not a weakness. Support for Lamar Jackson doesn't just come from NFL players, but also from his family. His mother, Felicia Jones, has been a fierce advocate, and like any protective mother, she isn't afraid to be direct. Recently, she expressed frustration with Lamar's lack of mobility during the Ravens' loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. Felicia, like any mother, wanted to see her son take every opportunity to run the ball and do what he does best, but Lamar, as always, preferred to wait for his receivers to get open before making decisions. This moment sparked a reflection on how Lamar approaches the game. Instead of following his instincts and running, he chose to be patient, waiting for a more developed play. This approach, however, reflects his evolution as a quarterback, something that is often forgotten. The shift in his playing style, focusing more on passing and less on running, is part of a larger strategy to make the Ravens' offense more unpredictable and efficient. But despite all the skill Lamar has as a passer, the pressure to return to running as frequently as he once did is growing. With this, he will need to continue balancing both aspects of his game without one overshadowing the other, taking every opportunity to show that he can be more than just a quarterback who runs or passes. He needs to be all of that together. So, after everything we've discussed, it's clear that Lamar Jackson isn't alone on this journey. Cam Newton's defense and his family's support show that Lamar has what it takes to move forward, no matter the criticism. He is one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in history, and the way he's reinventing himself on the field could take the Ravens to greater heights. Now, the question is, how do you think Lamar will respond to all this pressure and support? Will he continue to prove himself with every game? Leave your opinion in the comments. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything about the Ravens. See you in the next video.